Good afternoon and welcome to the big match. Today, a real genuine cup tie flavour about our programme. Just two fifth-round FA Cup ties being played this Saturday. We've got both of them for you now. And of course, the real magic ingredient about any cup competition is when a potential giant killer comes face to face with a giant. And we've got that in plenty as well. At York, of course, they'll hear the noise away at the famous old Minster across the city if York, who rose up from the third division to beat Arsenal in the last round, can now upset the European champions Liverpool. There can have been few sporting days like this in the lovely old city of York, or indeed for the supporters of this club. And there's certainly never been another day like this one for non-league Telford, as they step out of Goodison Park to face the cup holders and the team at the top of the first division, Everton. But we start here at Bootham Crescent for York against Liverpool. Let's first take a check on the two teams. York will be without their striker, Keith Houchin, whose last-minute penalty beat Arsenal. He's got a thigh injury, but they welcome back Keith Walwyn, who missed the last 3 games with an Achilles problem. Walwyn, incidentally, the only man to cost York money, £4,000 from Chesterfield. The rest of this side were either groomed through the club or came on free transfers. Not so Liverpool, of course. They field the team that beat Arsenal in midweek. Mark Lawrenson, of course, is still missing, with Gary Gillespie continuing, and Sammy Lee is the sub. And the referee is Peter Willis of County Durham. And it's York City who get this memorable afternoon on its way. Attacking the goal to our right with red shirts and blue shorts. Liverpool in a changed strip of yellow. First thing you have to say is all credit to this York City club for getting the game on at all, beating the freeze. They put 30 tons of straw on the pitch, covered by polythene, held in place by bricks up until 6 o'clock this morning. Then a squad arrived with a baler and with pitchforks and got it all clear. As one local reporter put it, looked more like Emmerdale Farm at that point than a cup tie pitch, but it's softened up quite well under the sun, and the Liverpool players say they are delighted with it, even going to take a short stub. It's Wallen with a header, Gillespie. Dalglish. Now Kennedy. So often on these occasions, the Giants have got to have the right attitude. And Liverpool appreciate that there's a job to be done here. Steve Nicol on the far side of that penalty area. The keeper came a long way out. Neil. And McPhail getting it away for York City. And Liverpool gets the throw. Steve Nicol with it. Thanks to Kenny Dalglish. Gillespie. And an offside flag, a free kick to York. Going well towards the top of the third division. 7th place and unbeaten in their last 7. Asprey, 21-year-old keeper. Foul there by Martin Butler. A free kick to Liverpool. Handsome will take it. Over the head. Good, but McPhail with a mighty clearance, again towards Butler. Play on, said the referee. And York will look to hustle Liverpool out of their stride, and Wallen going on a long way. But Roblar came out quickly, supported by Ronnie Whelan. Trying to break that by Keith Walwyn. Just for a moment, it caused a few flutters in the hearts of Liverpool fans. Dalglish with a touch, and Walk making the break, just wide. They would have seen that often enough, York, I would have thought, to know that Walk makes these sort of breaks from midfield, all stemming from that long clearance by Bruce Grobbelaar. Beautiful touch out there by Dalglish. Walk is through, and just wide of the York goal.
trying to get underneath one and force an error out of Phil Neal, but his header was sure. McDonald, though, didn't find Dalglish. It's with Hay. Buckler. And now Warwin. Parted through once more, and Buckler might get there. The flag is up. The flag is up. The referee for a moment turned, but the flag was up. And a free kick is given. The celebrations must end, and the free kick is given to Liverpool. Well, it was a shock for the champions there for a moment, but the linesman had spotted an offence, and although Buckler went through to beat Grobbelaar, it'll count for nothing. I only assume it must have been an offside decision. Disappointment there, certainly for York City, but a moment that certainly will give them a great deal of encouragement and will show Liverpool that this is a task that has to be taken seriously. I don't think there's any doubt about their feelings in those terms. In fact, Joe Fagan said today, if we're not at our best, we may well be punished. Well, the buzz is still going around this ground. For a moment, there were the most joyous scenes, both on the field and off it. Cut short by a linesman's flag, and in fact, Peter Willis for a moment had just turned to give the goal until he spotted the linesman. Senior now, roared on by this crowd at York. Baldwin's over on the far side, a little unlucky to bounce the header off the back of Phil Neal's head. Alan Pearce now. Neal going in and getting the better of Hay, treading on the ball. So the left back for York City finding Walwyn. Pearce down for a moment. And a free kick to York. For a foul on Walwyn, just on the edge of the box. And that's why the free kick was given. What can York do from this? Interesting position. The big men have come up from the back once again. Floated there towards Warwyn. In fact, touched on by Frazier, but in the end taken quite comfortably under the crossbar by Grobbelaar. Important header here, though, by Warwyn. And Frazier gently into the keeper's arms. So we're still getting these moments just before half-time when York looked as though they might find a way through even yet. 0-0 still. And Liverpool anything but their best at the moment. Really, when you work it out, they've only had one real chance on goal when Walk sprinted through early on to put his shot wide. Other than that, York really haven't been greatly troubled in defence. As Asprey now takes this goal kick, and it's a half-time whistle. Promise of more drama, I think, in the second half, possibly than we've had in the first. And a difficult pitch with a determined third division side and a Liverpool team who are not quite putting it together as they so often do. Half-time here then at Bootham Crescent. York City 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool start the second half. They were last here, in fact, in 1975. And again, at this stage of the game then, it was 0-0. Liverpool winning it in the League Cup, that was then, with a penalty in the last minute. Musselgrave playing it forward again. Gillespie. Liverpool certainly want to put a little more of their game together in the second half than they managed in the first. Harry Ford, now Senior with the cross. And Nicol getting it away, not very far though. Chance maybe for Senior to return it. Liverpool having beaten, of course, Aston Villa and Spurs in previous rounds. They've had a rather longer route of York City to this stage, having beaten Blue Star, Hartlepool, Walsall, and memorably, of course, Arsenal. Accidental. Let's see how Kevin McDonald. Yes, it was a bit of a thump on the ground there. So McDonald's okay. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Gary Gillespie with it. And Rush! A brilliant goal and a typical one by that ace marksman Ian Rush. And smiles, I suggest, of relief, as much pleasure for Liverpool. But what a beautiful turn on the ball there. And 1-0. Well, it's the sort of goal he's always likely to score. It's the sort of goal that Liverpool, even when they are not playing at their best, and they certainly haven't been at their best so far today, are always likely to pull out of the bag. So 57 minutes, Liverpool in the lead. Sprazier wrestled over by Rush. The throw given to Liverpool. It's with Dalglish. Twisting and turning and getting a delightful little cross in there. And it's gone in, no. Well, Nicol thought for a moment he'd had it. It was McPhail who got it off the line after it had gone past the keeper. And Liverpool so close to getting number 2. After some lovely work by Dalglish. Crossed in there. It was Nicol's header under the keeper and just stopped from going over the line by McPhail. Hale diving in, or shows he did so, which provides York City with another free kick. We're just having a quiet word with Ian Rush, I think, for kicking that ball away and showing York City that he would add the time on. Baldwin up well. Good grief, there was not much to spare there for Bruce Grobbelaar. And the big striker got up really well, beating the whole defence with a fine header from that long free kick. And the Liverpool keeper quite content to let it go wide. It didn't look so there was an awful lot in it though. Butler trying to glance it on once more, and a free kick to York City. For the foul on Martin Butler. As Arsenal now have certainly done great deeds in the closing minutes of cup ties. They're a goal down, and they yet pull it round. It's Alan Pearce with the free kick for them. Ford will hope to get it back again, and does so. Against the crossbar there. Oh, against the crossbar twice! And it still will go in. It's there now! And Sprazier has made it 1-1. What a remarkable sequence. And big Ricky Sprazier, with 5 minutes left, has found an equaliser for York City in their first really serious attack of the whole of the second half. Against the crossbar once there,
Liverpool breathed again. Off the head of Walwyn, and they breathed again. And somehow they couldn't force it in until Sprazier got there and makes it 1-1. Well, now what a finish. Now, how much have Liverpool got left, and how much have York City got left? With 5 minutes remaining. The crowd are going crazy here now. Certainly was an amazing sequence of events before it was finally rifled into the back of the Liverpool net. And Dalglish getting involved there with Hay and with Pearce. And Hood coming across as peacemaker, and the referee wanting a word with Alan Hay, I think it is. And Liverpool get a corner. It'll be a booking for the left back. In fact, it's not a corner, it's a free kick. Well, certainly Liverpool have piled everybody forward, and these are tense moments for York City. Driven in there, and right across Whelan, into the back of the nets. He's disallowed it. The linesman, who flagged down the goal that Butler scored early in the game, has raised the same red flag, and Whelan's goal mysteriously disallowed. So the free kick taken there by Nicol, and it comes through to Ronnie Whelan, and presumably, I don't know that it can be offside, but whatever it was, it's been disallowed. A look at the watch. And it's a draw and a replay. And York City, a victory as they got against Arsenal, but a magnificent battling draw with a goal by Ricky Sprazier right at the end, after Ian Rush had put Liverpool into the lead after 57 minutes. Well, a lot of pride in York and their performance, and profit to come too now as they go to Anfield for the replay. The final score then here at Luton Crescent is York City 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, it finished 1-1. I suppose many people left the ground, though, believing it could have been 2-2, and it was hard to see why 2 goals were disallowed. The first by Martin Butler, of course, for York early in the game, and York really thought they'd made a breakthrough. If it was offside, when that pass was made, Butler looked suspiciously onside, and he went on to finish most efficiently indeed. So there was a baffling little mystery there. And then right at the end, after York had drawn level, Ronnie Whelan's effort was disallowed. Also, it seems for offside. But again, when you look at it, as he rifles the ball in once more, again a mystery as to why that one was disallowed. But I suppose at least you could say the disallowed goals cancelled each other out. Well, coming next, the second of our fifth round cup ties, as non-league Telford face a 47,000 crowd and the cup holders Everton after the break. And welcome back. Well, Telford United from the Gola League was seeking to become the first non-league club to reach the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. I suppose they couldn't have had it tougher, now facing an Everton side determined to keep a hold on the cup they won at Wembley last May, and coming to this game at the top of the First Division. Our commentator at Goodison Park is Peter Brackley.
Whatever the outcome today, nothing can erase the memory of Telford's astonishing cup run, with the league side beaten in each of the 4 previous rounds. There's plenty of experience in the side. Goalkeeper Kevin Charlton, he was in Hereford's 3rd Division Championship team a few years ago. Fullback Kevin Lewis, he's a former Busby babe. And up front, the man who perhaps poses the biggest single threat to Everton, Colin Williams. Back after injury, he's scored in every round so far. Telford face, of course, though, an Everton side in tremendous form. 7 straight wins behind them, and the possibility of 1, 2, perhaps even 3 trophies ending up at Goodison this season ever increasing. Peter Reid has overcome a hamstring injury, so he continues in midfield. Howard Kendall's choice of substitute is utility man Alan Harper in preference to Terry Curran. The pitch in fine condition thanks to the undersoil heating. Today's referee is Trevor Spencer from Salisbury. Everton then to kick off, attacking the goal to our left in the first half. Everton in blue shirts and white shorts. The biggest day in Telford's history, no doubt about that. Their determination to relish the occasion reflected in their pledge to attack Everton, whatever the consequences. It is Everton who are attacking them at the moment with Van den Hauwe. It's Mayman heading it away. Van den Hauwe knocking it back in. Should be the goalkeeper's. Great challenging strongly there. Whistle gone anyway for the challenge on the goalkeeper. And certainly Kevin Charlton is going to be in for a busy afternoon. He's had league experience with Bournemouth as well as Hereford. And the sun is clearly going to pose a problem or two this afternoon. It's Van den Hauwe just shielding his eyes there. Hogan. A robust tackle, but a fair one from Tony Turner, Telford captain. Van den Hauwe for Everton. Towards Sharp. It's going to be quite a confrontation between Hancock and Sharp. Sharp, finding Van den Hauwe, lovely layoff. Corner. So it's been a bright opening here by the First Division leaders, as you'd expect. Van den Hauwe, on the edge of the 6-yard area there. Charlton's come quick, claimed it, then lost it. I think the whistle has gone now. The referee quickly sort out that skirmish there. Charlton seemed to have gathered the ball, then lost it. Stevens with the corner. Charlton certainly had it there. The ball squirmed out of his grip. I think the whistle went then. Here's Hogan. Now Alcock. Williams in the middle. Here's Williams now. Well, it was perhaps the best chance of the game so far. It fell to a man who's normally so lethal in front of goal, Colin Williams. And he couldn't convert the opportunity. A lovely little pass slipped through there by Hogan. Alcock with the cross, pulls it back, and Williams couldn't turn it in. Just turned away by Southall. Well, it's the Telford fans who are raising their voices now. Very encouraging spell for them. Turner. Lewis going in hard. Such a committed defender. That really has got the crowd buzzing now. Certainly a chance. Southall saving from Williams. Everybody now bar Southall in the Telford half. Gray climbing well. Hancock away. Again, it's an Everton free kick. Telford have conceded quite a few around that area. Kevin Charlton there, that's his view. Making sure that the wall in front of him is lined up properly. The counter this free kick. Sheedy is there. Will he try to curl it here? He has! Off the mark! And away! Well, Kevin Charlton was beaten there. And it was the bar that saved it. Glorious free kick then by Sheedy. The danger isn't over yet. Van den Hauwe. Charlton again under pressure. But a goal kick. Here we can see the free kick. Curled there delightfully away off the bar, and it fell for Telford. And they're making a substitution. Telford. Colin Williams has gone off. Dave Mather has come on. So the injury which kept Colin Williams out of the Darlington replay perhaps is still troubling him. McKenna with the header on. Safely through the Southall. We've now had 2 minutes of injury time. In fairness, there have been 1 or 2 stoppages. Oh, dreadful back pass in by Turner. Sharp's totally committed. Sharp. Oh, beyond Bracewell. Was there a hand there? Well, the Everton players are incensed. Chasing after referee Trevor Spencer. But no penalty given. Cheers from the Everton fans who felt there should have been a penalty. Players stopped anyway. There's a fracas in the centre of the field there. And the Everton players arguing that they should have had a penalty. They claim that the ball struck an arm. And there's Sharp. And the goalkeeper totally committed. Sharp's beaten him here. Now, was there a hand here somewhere? Well, it certainly appeared so. Well, the boos around Goodison Park will tell you that the Everton fans feel their team should have had a penalty there towards the end of the half. Andy Gray still protesting. But there's been no avalanche of goals here. And the non-league side more than held their own so far. Colin Williams with that chance saved by Southall. And then Kevin Sheedy hitting the bar for Everton. But at half-time, amidst controversy here, there is no score. So then, Telford start the second half. Words of encouragement, I'm sure, from their manager at half-time. I wonder what Howard Kendall has had to say in the Everton dressing room. Outfield's head up. Graham Sharp is going off. He's been hobbling for much of the game. He got a couple of knocks early on. And Alan Harper, a very versatile player, comes on. He's only played four full games this season. Reed. I shouldn't think Telford would be too worried that Sharp has gone off. Such a threat, of course. It's Gray! So close. Now within seconds of Graham Sharp having gone off his front-running partner, Andy Gray finds himself in the clear. Good jump there by Trevor Stephen. Gray whacks it first time. Lewis. Sheedy. Rode the tackle. And again. In the corner. So back come the Telford troops. As Everton throw Vanden Hauwe and Mountfield forward. They've taken the corner quickly too. Sheedy. Into the path of Stevens. Gone in. It took a deflection, I'm sure. Gary Stevens has given Everton the lead. Two goals against Watford in the last match here. He scored against Doncaster in the previous round of the Cup too. And Gary Stevens has at last found a way through. Neat footwork there by Sheedy. Rolls the ball into the path of Stevens. And let's see here, was it deflected? It certainly was by Peter Reid. Well, they can argue among themselves whose goal it is. It was certainly Stevens' shot, and it was certainly deflected in by Peter Reid. Whatever the reason it went in, Everton have at last gone ahead. Relief for the Everton fans. What disappointment for Telford, who battled here so gamely. And I wouldn't say they're out of it yet. They're going to have to now commit themselves even more to attack. McKenna going through. Safe defensive play by Mountfield. Certainly dejection there for the moment among the Telford supporters. Stevens, the goal scorer. The goal coming midway through the second half. Although Reid may well claim it, they can sort that one out in the dressing room. Peter Reid doesn't score that often, so he'll want it. He's got only 2 this season. Well, I think it was always going to take something out of the ordinary to beat Kevin Charlton this afternoon. Bracewell. Sheedy. Bracewell has made the run outside him here. So 3, 4 blue shirts waiting in the middle. Reid. Van Houw. Gray going in. Couldn't keep the header down. It's such a dangerous man in and around the 6-yard area. There's always going to be a threat here on the cross. It's pulled back across there by Van Houw. Up goes Gray. Couldn't keep it down. Lewis hit very hard on Bracewell. Referee allowing play to go on. And Bracewell has stayed down. Mountfield down to Reid. Van Houw augmenting the attack. And here's Sheedy. Van Houw in for Harper. Penalty. Turner's challenge. And the penalty has been given. There's the push by Turner. I think Kevin Sheedy is going to take the kick. Sheedy, who's scored 4 goals in his last 4 games. And here's Sheedy now against Charlton. And tucks it away beautifully. Goal number 12 for Kevin Sheedy this season. And how decisively struck it was too. Charlton goes the right way but can't reach it. Well, relief there for Howard Kendall. For so long, Telford were holding on. Gray's touch, goes Bracewell. Here's Stephen. Gray's made his run into the middle. Andy Gray hit the bar. Well, is he ever going to score again? He's got just the 1 goal this season. And he really must be wondering when the next one's going to come. Impressive build-up by Everton. And Gray off the bar. Stevens. Telford really have to throw everything now, really. And Everton hope that they can find a goal from somewhere. Here's Turner. Now can the captain inspire his team? Finding Alcott with the cross in. Oh, just wide. Layman arriving. Thought for a moment Mather was going to reach it. Southall unhappy with the marking. Paul Mayman diving low. Alcott with the cross. Mather couldn't quite reach it. Mayman headed it just wide. Harper. Here's Sheedy. Sheedy again. Gray up in support. Stephen outside him here. Oh, that's a magnificent goal by Trevor Stephen. And the crowd applauding there. A goal of sheer class. Sheedy working his way through and then into the path of Trevor Stephen. And the shot flew past Kevin Charlton. The last minute of the game, and Trevor Stephen has made it 3-0. And Howard Kendall will be delighted. He's been so pleased with the way that Stephen has been playing. Oh, a foul then by Joseph from Peter Reid. certainly a late challenge by Joseph. And the tackle there on Peter Reid, which had left him writhing in agony. Appears to have caught his ankle. Outfield. There goes the final whistle. Everton safely through as expected of the cup holders and the First Division leaders. What a show of resilience from Telford here, the non-league side. Only the fourth non-league club to reach the fifth round, remember. And Peter Reid there being carried off, the consoling arm of Howard Kendall around him. And what a pity that there are cheers around the ground, and that really is directed at Anton Joseph because of the late tackle on Peter Reid, which may have created considerable damage. But the final score is Everton 3, Telford 0.
So a great run by Telford comes to an end and Everton go marching on. But what about Peter Reid? We saw him carried off there right at the end. He tells us today that he thinks it's just severe bruising of the foot. Well, that's it. Hope very much you've enjoyed our cup tie action today, where we've seen one giant killer who lived to fight another day and one who didn't. Good afternoon.
They're a goal down, and they yet pull it round. It's Alan Pearce with the free kick for them. Ford will hope to get it back again, and does so. It's the crossbar there. Oh, and it's the crossbar choice! And it still will go